just want to get into a little bit deeper conversation and understanding about how to post up properly through impact. And I'm going to post some pictures of Brooks Koepka with this video, so this way you can really see. I think he does it perfectly. I've seen Tiger in these motions, and that's the reason why I want you to think of it as a motion and not an alignment or a position. I mean, obviously there's a directional motion component to this, but I really want to make sure that we understand. I want you to think about this three-dimensionally too. So we'll kind of walk through a couple different angles and really dive into this. So one of the things that traditional instruction will say is there's a lot of kind of the kinematic sequence. The hips will go, the upper body goes, and then the arms go, and that is correct. We see that order, but and then they get into decel. You need to decel in order to transfer power, which it doesn't work that way, but that's what they're saying. But when I was on looking at the gear system and when I was on it out in our Be Better Golf School out in Oklahoma, we look at upper body rotation, we look at body rotation through impact. And all of a sudden, the graphs that we see for kinematic sequence just don't make sense anymore. We see an increase in rotation, especially upper body thoracic, which then now keeps the arms going, as being the fastest and highest acceleration rates in tour players. So what does that mean? That means through impact, their upper body is really rotating. Now, in order for them to keep balance, how can we rotate our upper body properly and through the ball and beyond and still maintain balance to the butt? Well, we need a stable base. Now that base now can be our lead leg, lead hip. It could be the right hip. A lot of long drive guys do the same thing. They do it. But we need a post in order to make that upper body rotation, that arm swing go through the ball. So conventionally, what I want you to do is think about your lead leg. I want you to almost imagine when we're in posture, your hip joint is located somewhere in here, okay? Just in here. And it's three-dimensionally, goes in deeper this way. So I want you to almost think that there's an imaginary line from your hip joint all the way down to the ground. That's really the idea, and I'll kind of go this angle. That's the idea of posting up. Is we're going to see, and I'll show the picture. Koepka, he's just perfect right here, and then he really pours it on upper body wise, and this is staying nice and stable. So it's the idea and the concept, and that's the reason why people talk about early extension, how it's a negative, and it makes sense. But it's because the arm swing isn't correct. There's other factors that are behind this that cause that early extension. So the biggest thing is using those arms in transition and getting the feeling that we're on this lead leg three-dimensionally and we're kind of sitting down into that hip joint. Okay, so if I'm doing a single leg squat, I want you to get the feeling like you're really trying to get that glute really sticking out and really getting down. And that's a sensation I have. You may not feel it. You may feel it more in the quad, lateral quad, maybe, hopefully not the knee because that's a joint. We want to feel it in the muscles. I feel it down here. But the idea is really working a solid base right here and then through the shot. So a couple of drills you can kind of do with that, okay, is to plant and then swing through. So you don't have to worry about hitting balls, but it's just kind of a plant and then swinging through and feel, again, you're kind of just squatting in on that. That's just a way to really post up. So another way to kind of feel this and think about this, and Nicholas used his heel. He came in, heel up, and then planted that heel. It's the same type of motion. Okay, so that's another way you can kind of think of it is planting that heel. And when you do that, again, you maintain your posture. You don't come out of it. and there we are. Another way of looking at it, and this is kind of the way I kind of feel it with my swing, is I think of lines, my hip joint staying this way through the ball. So if my hip goes this way, there's no post. I'm just spinning around, okay? I feel like right here, my hips are actually kind of staying square right here, and then it's working up on through. So that way, I'm not going here. Some people you can see will slide a little bit, like trying to think. I'm sure there's somebody on tour. I just been tied up with that dissertation thing. But thinking of from here, I want to keep my legs square, my knees square. So then when I come down, my arms are locked up this way, and I'm not here, and I'm not there. So those are some different ways to do it. And next I'm going to show you how to use Rotex to help feel this.